Hello ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from Redolessence and welcome back to another fragrance review. Thank you all very much for tuning in. And in this video, I am very excited to be sharing with my subscribers my thoughts on a fragrance that was released way back when in 2001. Yes, it's been about 15 years already. This fragrance goes by the name Ultraviolet Man and it's by Paco Rabanne. So first off, here's the bottle. Really cool looking bottle. It even has purple liquid and it kind of looks like Fabuloso. It's supposed to look kind of like a black light, like a black light, you search for bodily fluids. And this is actually the sprayer. Look at that. That's a beastly sprayer. Anyways, this one was composed by Jacques Cavaillé, and he has done L'Eau de Saint-Laurent by Issey Miyake. He has done M7 by Yves Saint Laurent. Recently, Louis Vuitton came out with their own fragrances. He did every single one of them. So he's a pretty well-established perfumer in the industry, but he does do mostly women's fragrances. Now, this one is classified as an Oriental Spicy, and let's go ahead and kick the review off by taking a look at the presentation. So here's the presentation for Ultraviolet Man. Pretty simple box. Name of the fragrance over here in the front, name of the company at the bottom, size and concentration on the bottom as well. Serial number is punched into the box. You have the UPC code, ingredients at the back, Paco Rabanne logo embossed at the top. And then here's the bottle. It has this pretty cool reflective property on the side. It says Ultraviolet Man here in the front. Kind of looks like a black light, looking for bodily fluids. Not necessarily the nicest evocation, but check out the sprayer. This one sprays out a lot of juice, really, really well done. And that was the presentation for Ultraviolet Man by Paco Rabanne. Now, when you first spray this on, you will notice that it is a sweet fragrance. And that's something that we've come to expect from Paco Rabanne with Invictus and 1 Million, and the list goes on and on, Black Excess. This one is no exception. It does have a green quality to it, however. There's the note of oak moss, but it also smells like blades of grass. I just have to come right out and say it. This fragrance gets compared a lot, and I would compare it a lot, to a fragrance by the company Bond No. 9 called Bleecker Street. This one bears a lot of similarities to Bleecker Street. So many similarities, in fact, that I think it would be redundant to purchase both. Now, there is another one by Ralph Lauren called Purple Label. I don't know why purple and everybody just, wants to make them all smell the same, but yes, Purple Label does indeed smell very similar to this one as well. I own that one as well. My friend Carlos gave it to me. So Carlos, if you're watching, thank you very much for hooking me up. But this one in particular focuses around the note of gray amber. Those of you know it as ambergris, which is a French name, and it's basically a secretion from a whale, or it's whale vomit, whale regurgitation. I know that sounds pretty nasty, and it's found floating in the middle of the sea, and that's where sea farmers harvest it. And ambergris itself has a dark, opaque, charcoal colored matter and a color to it. And a single gram is worth $1,000. Does this have real ambergris? No, probably not. It has a synthetic version of it, but you know what? On Fragrantica, it has it listed as amber, and I get more amber than I do ambergris. Yes, there is like a staticky undertone that is evocative of ambergris, but I also get a lot of sweetness from it, and amber is an accord. It's a fantasy note in perfumery, and it really just conveys a sweet resinous base, and that's what I get from this one too. It smells as though you poured vanilla or some sort of vanillic substance on grass. That's what it smells like. So you have the oak moss, you have those green grassy vetiver elements, and then you also have this sweetness, right? This amber accord with this vanilla and some other notes in there thrown into the mix. Overall, I think it's a really pleasant smell, but now that I had the chance to try all three, Bleecker Street, this one, and Ralph Lauren Purple Label, there's some that are not going to be in the running for my favorites, right? And this one is probably not going to be in my #1 spot among those three. Anyways, let's finish things off by taking a look at the rating. So first off, I took a look at the uniqueness and the overall smell, and for what it's worth, it is a unique fragrance. I mean, it came out back in 2001. It is one of the first to play around with this combination of notes, if you will, and I think it's really pleasant. It's a unique smell. I think we've seen a lot of unique fragrances from the house of Paco Rabanne. More recently, they become a little bit more redundant with Invictus, Invictus Aqua, 1 Million, 1 Million Privé, 1 Million Intense, so on and so forth, but you know, as they've progressed, they've supplied us with a steady stream of unique and sweet scents, and this one is no exception for that. I really like this scent. Next up, longevity is decent, about 7 hours. Projection, it will jump up off your skin for about 2 hours, an hour and a half to 2 hours, and then it sits closer to the skin. It becomes a skin scent right about the 6-hour mark, but it becomes a close encounter scent. So it will make those around you want to get closer to you. So it might actually work in this fragrance's benefit. Versatility on this one, because it's sweet, it is geared a little bit more towards a younger age range. So if you're 30 and up, you can probably reach for something a little classier, a little more sophisticated, more refined. But I think you can wear this one to a party, a club, a night out when you want to smell sweet. So shirt and tie would also work. Suit and tie, maybe something with a little bit more citrus would be more apt for that occasion. As far as presentation goes, presentation is really cool. This one for many would fall in the kitschy category. I get it, but it's cool nonetheless. Despite the name Ultraviolet, there is no violet note, so it might be a little deceptive, but other than that, it falls within that theme pretty well. If I had to give this fragrance an overall score, I would give it a 3 out of 5. I give it a 3 out of 5 because it's not one of my favorites. It is a great scent, but even Bleecker Street, I think, is superior to this one, even though Bleecker Street, I believe, came out after this one. However, despite all of the Bond number 9s that I have, and there are even more than what you see behind me, I don't own Bleecker Street. As much as I do like Bleecker Street, there was nothing about it that made me feel like I had to have a bottle. So what can I say about a product that, in my opinion, is a little inferior to Bleecker Street? I probably didn't need to have this bottle either, right? So it's not my personal favorite, but if any of the descriptions that I stated apply to you, or if they appeal to you, then I think it's worth checking this one out. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. That was my review of Ultraviolet Man by Paco Rabanne. There are a few more flankers like Ultra Red Man, and don't get it confused, this is the Ultraviolet Man. If you own or have tried this scent, please let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Also, please don't forget to rate and subscribe for future videos, top 10s, giveaways, unboxings, and much more fragrance-related content. So remember, I smell well so you can smell good, and we'll see you in the next episode. Take care, everyone.